Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're diving straight into the mechanics of human behavior, specifically looking at how we can actually master our own minds. You know those high-pressure moments where all your logic just seems to vanish into thin air? Well, today, we're unpacking the exact internal processes from our source material that dictate those moments. We're going to decode the secret to mastering metacognition. By the end of this explainer, I promise you're going to have a completely new perspective on the invisible forces driving your behavior. So I want you to be incredibly honest with yourself for a second here. Do your emotions control you, or do you control your emotions? Seriously, think about the last time you were in a really heated moment. Maybe it was an argument at work or a super stressful situation at home. Who was actually in the driver's seat? We all love to think we're perfectly rational, calm, and collected, but the source material we're looking at today challenges that assumption head on. And the stakes here are massive, because whoever or whatever is in control during those high-pressure moments literally dictates the trajectory of our relationships, our careers, and just our daily happiness. All right, let's jump right into Section 1. What is metacognition, the superpower of the mind? Metacognition is this incredible tool we all possess, yet we rarely use it consciously. Simply put, it's the ability to think about our thinking. I know, it sounds a little bit like a riddle, right? But what it really means is having the unique ability to step back, zoom out, and observe your own mental processes, as if you were a third-party witness to your own mind. You aren't just having thoughts, you are literally watching yourself have thoughts. You're observing the machine at work. It's the ultimate vantage point, and mastering it is absolutely crucial for unlocking emotional intelligence. Moving on to Section 2, the two brain centers, a tale of two systems. To really grasp this superpower, we have to look at the clear division of labor happening inside your head. On one side, we've got the limbic brain. This is the center responsible for your emotions. It is incredibly fast, it's automatic, and it flares up instantly when you're triggered, scared, or wildly excited. It just goes. Then, on the other side, we have the prefrontal cortex. This is your center for logic and decision-making. It operates at a much more deliberate, careful, and slower pace. It's the part of you that calculates, weighs options, and thinks about long-term consequences. And, as you might guess, these two centers are frequently in a massive tug-of-war for control over your actions. So, where exactly does our superpower fit into all of this? Well, according to the source material, metacognition is our ability to talk to our limbic brain. Just think about that for a second. It is literally the communication bridge between these two completely distinct brain regions. It's the logical prefrontal cortex opening up a dialogue with the emotional limbic brain. Instead of just letting the limbic brain run wild and unsupervised, metacognition allows your logic to step in and have a real conversation with your feelings. That brings us to Section 3, reacting versus responding, the fork in the road. This internal tug-of-war creates a crucial behavioral fork in the road, which comes down to understanding the difference between reacting and responding. Reacting is when you immediately take action. Your limbic brain feels something and you just do something. Boom. We've all been there, right? Firing off that angry email before reviewing it or snapping at a friend, it's totally impulsive. Responding, however, is an entirely different ballgame. Responding means you are thinking and then reacting to your emotions. It requires bringing that prefrontal cortex online. It's the difference between a knee-jerk reflex and a calculated, intentional choice. In practice, the source lays out a very clear three-step roadmap. Step 1, you experience the emotion. Your limbic brain fires up, and honestly, that's completely unavoidable. But then, Step 2, you pause, and you analyze that emotion using your prefrontal cortex. You ask yourself why you're feeling this way and if it's actually justified. You think about your thinking. Only after that crucial pause do you proceed to Step 3. You respond with logical action. This step-by-step framework is exactly how you take the steering wheel back from your impulses. Which leads us to our final part, Section 4, giving emotions meaning, the final verdict. Now that we understand the mechanics, we need to address the emotions themselves. And the core takeaway from our explainer today is that emotions are not bad. Society often attaches a massive stigma to feeling things, especially stuff like anger, frustration, or sadness. But the research highlighted here is completely clear. Having feelings, even really intense burning ones, is a completely neutral, natural biological event. Your limbic brain is just doing its job. So experiencing an emotion is definitely not something you should ever feel guilty about. As the source material concludes, and I quote, "The way we react to our emotions give them a meaning, whether they are positive or negative. The emotion itself is essentially just a blank slate. The real power lies entirely in our response.
Our actions, which are guided by whether we chose to use our metacognition or not, are what ultimately brand an emotional event as a positive learning experience or a negative, destructive one. You are the one who gets to assign the meaning.
So, I want to leave you with this final thought. The very next time you feel a powerful emotion surge through you, whether that happens today, tomorrow, or next week, will you simply react, letting the limbic brain drive blindly, or will you use your prefrontal cortex? Think about your thinking and take the time to truly respond. The choice is entirely yours, and mastering that choice changes absolutely everything. Thanks for exploring this with me today.